there's a lot of different options for you to choose when you're picking a bird feeder, and it's a great way to enjoy outside. Whether you have snow on the ground or whether it's fall or spring, there's a lot of birds that will be migrating through, and you can enjoy watching them through your window or enjoy them outside, and it's a great way to just enjoy the outdoors when you don't have to be outside. So a lot of different options you can choose from. There's different kinds of feeders that really attract a different type of bird. So you've got tube feeders like these, and these are made by Droll Yankee. There's a lot of different tube feeders that are out there. Usually there's going to be some sort of metal perch that the birds can hang on to, polycarbonate tube. The great thing about Droll Yankee is they have a lifetime guarantee on the tubes and the parts, and so if you ever have a problem with your feeder, they'll replace it for you. And I've had my cat knock the bird feeder down before, landed on a rock, cracked the tube, called them up, they sent me a new tube, and I just took the parts out and replaced it all together. So Droll Yankee's great to work with. But tube feeders like this, you can put a wide variety of different feed in there for the birds, so a lot of different seed that you can put in there. And what's nice is you get smaller birds that can perch on these perches, and so the perches aren't very big, they're only about 1.5 inches long, and so you'll get your smaller, more colorful songbirds that can come and perch on here, and then they'll pick the seed right out of the hole. So you can use a wide variety of different seeds in a tube feeder like this. You can use wild bird, you can use black sunflower. So here's the black sunflower. During the winter time when it's really cold and the birds are looking for a little bit more protein, a little bit more fat, we like to feed more of the black sunflower. So we do a real high concentration of just the black sunflower, or even just the straight sunflower, because the birds like it. It helps them through the winter time when it's really cold and it's a little bit more difficult for them to find food. So the black sunflower is a great way to go. The wild bird has more millet, has more grains in it, and that's better to feed during the summertime. And then for the smaller, really colorful birds, they like this thistle seed. Now this isn't thistle, the weed thistle that shows up in your garden or in your lawn. This is black thistle, and this seed actually won't germinate, and so you don't have to worry about it spilling onto the ground and germinating, having weed seeds coming up. But the black thistle really attracts your very colorful songbirds, like your finches, your house wrens, your chickadees, your pine siskins. This is a great way to bring in a lot of the smaller birds. And I have tube feeders that have the large opening, or the large hole, so you can put just about any type of feed in there. But I also have smaller holes that will be specific for just the thistle seed. So they're actually thistle feeders, and the holes are really small, so the birds can just like pick the thistle right out of the small holes. Difference between, like, say, a tube feeder like this, which is kind of limited to the size of the bird that can participate in feeding on the feeder. Then you can get a platform feeder like this. Now this feeder is made by Woodlink, and they use all cedar, and so very, very, very nice construction, high quality materials. The cedar's weather resistant, it doesn't rot, and holds up really well. They use big heavy duty piano hinges and zinc screws. They use like the best materials possible, and you can open your feeder up, you can pull it apart to clean it out, which is really nice because a lot of people don't clean their feeders frequently enough. You can get bacteria and molds and things that can build up in there, cause problems for the birds. So you want to make sure and clean your feeder out quite frequently. So the panels come out, you can clean in there. It holds quite a bit of feed, and the thing that works best about the platform feeders is you've got a larger platform here and a bigger area for the birds to feed from, so you can attract some of the larger birds as well too. So larger birds can sit on here, pick the seed out. Sometimes they like to flick the seed out onto the ground, and then they'll pick it up off the ground as well too. But then this feeder not only has the capacity to hold the bird seed in here that falls into the tray, but it's also a suet feeder. So we have suet cakes like this one. This is kind of a unique suet cake. It's if you look up really close, you can see it has mealworms in it, and the birds absolutely love the mealworms. It's a great source of protein for the birds. High energy. This is a high energy suet cake, and the suet cakes are excellent for winter time. They attract woodpeckers in, but it's got a lot more fat in it, and it's very, very healthy for the birds through the winter time to have this source of nutrient for them. And they just sit right inside the little tray right there. Let's see if I can get it in there. Of course, it's being uncooperative. There we go. And sits right in there. Then the birds can come. They'll just like cling onto the grid there, and they'll just peck the suet right out of the bird feeder. So. Big differences between a platform feeder and a tube feeder. There's, like I said, a lot of different types of food and bird feed you can put into the feeders, and some are specific for certain varieties, but all the bird feeders are a lot of fun to watch the birds come in and get a little snack through the winter time. In fact, the other day I saw birds just all over a crab apple, just having a heyday. So it's really a lot of fun watching the birds come in, get something to eat, and that way you can enjoy the outdoors and enjoy helping our little friends from nature.